I'm going to take anger and being present together as one topic because each of them is mutually exclusive. We get angry when we're not present. And when we are present, deeply present, we don't lose ourselves into emotions. Anger comes in our lives because we have some expectation about some way that the universe or the people in it is going to behave, and it doesn't. Whether it's something really little, like I had a picnic planned, it's my birthday, it rained. It's not supposed to rain this season, it never rains this season, it hasn't rained on this date in 50 years, and the one day I decide to plan my picnic, it rains. We're angry. Or on a deeper level, angry at the people around us, our loved ones. Specific anger, how dare you speak like that, act like that, behave like this, do that. Or generalized anger. You don't understand me, you don't love me, you don't listen to me, you don't respect me. So the anger comes basically when we want something from the universe and we don't get it. But here's the interesting piece about anger. It always comes out of unconsciousness. You cannot be consciously angry. So if I say to you, okay, on the count of 3, you've got 30 seconds to become furious. 1, 2, 3, go. Can you do it? But this is really interesting because how many of us lose our tempers? It's sort of a part of the human condition. How many of us lose our tempers more frequently than we'd like to? And yet we can't do it on command. Most of us can probably remember the last time we lost our temper. It's not that it was 30 years ago and I cannot think of anything to be angry about. And yet we cannot get angry on command. And the reason for that is that our anger comes when we are not conscious in that moment. And that's why being present is such a good antidote to it. When I say that we're not angry and present at the same time, I'm not talking about that we approve of everything that's happening in the world. Many of us, most of us, disapprove of what's happening in a lot of the Middle East. We probably disapprove and feel sadness and pain, injustice at our sisters and brothers who are starving or dying of thirst, or our sisters dying in childbirth. I mean, we could go on all night and come up with 100 things that are justifiable for us to be upset about. But that's not the stuff we lose our temper over. That's not the anger we're looking to overcome. That's not the stuff that we wake up the next morning and say, oh my God, what did I do? Oh my God, what did I say? It's not the stuff that we find ourselves having to go and backtrack and patch up what we've done, what we've said, how we've acted. That anger stems from unconsciousness. And this is why being present is the greatest antidote. The other solution, you can say, to anger is when it comes. Very few of us are immune to anger ever coming. But what happens when it comes is that if I see something that I get angry about, or somebody acts in a certain way, I get angry. The situation is not how I want it to be. I'm angry. तुमने कैसे बात किया, तुमने ऐसे कैसे किया, मैंने बताया तो ऐसे करो मत कि. We've got a plan for how things should be. The universe does not obey. The wave of anger starts to come. And what most of us do when that wave comes, that first initial wave, is the tape starts in our mind of we replay the person, the people, the situation, the acts, the words that made us angry. So we help the wave to grow and grow and grow. We rehear, we re-see what it is that made us angry. And all that does, number one, is keep us out of the present moment. Because I'm back 10 minutes ago, an hour ago, 10 years ago. I'm not here. I'm at that moment that started the wave of my anger. So A, it has brought me further out of the present moment. And B, all it's done is it's put my brain on autopilot. It's just repeating and repeating and repeating the story. And the answer out of all of that that plagues us, whether it's anger, whether it's depression, whether it's addictions, whether it's general angst, whether it's feeling like a victim, all of the stuff that afflicts us, the bottom line solution to all of it is get out of the story. Every bit of it is rooted in a story of what has happened to me. It's all about me. I'm a victim of this today. I was a victim of that 10 years ago. These people, this situation, that God, these stars, whoever it is we blame, are different to me and worse to me than they are to everyone else in the universe. I have been singularly chosen for the short end of the stick. And whether we get angry about it, whether we get depressed about it, whether we become an alcoholic or a drug addict about it, it's all based on my drama, my story. So, finishing up with anger, as the wave comes, we pull ourselves out of the story. The story says, he did this, she did that. We replay it over and over. Instead of that, when you see the wave of anger coming in your life, you feel it. Pulse starts to go up. Heart rate goes up. Palms get kind of sweaty. There's a flush in the face. The minute that starts to happen, the minute your attention gets very, very, very narrow on that person, on that situation, shift it and focus it onto the anger itself. Now, this is very subtle, but it's very important. We're not focusing on the situation that made us angry, the words that made us angry, or the person that's made us angry. We are focusing head on the anger itself. We are staring at the emotion itself. And what that does is it actually makes it dissipate. First of all, it brings us into the present moment. Because in the present moment, there's not the story, there's only the wave of emotion. So if I can face that wave, here I am in the present. And it's just about me and my emotion. Not about you, Not about the other guy, not about the other gal, not about my parents, not about my teacher. Not about some story. It's just looking at the wave of emotion. And what you'll find if you try it is, when it happens, as you stare down that wave, it dissipates. It just starts to kind of, right before your eyes. Most of these emotions are secondary emotions. Anger comes because we are in pain. If you sit with anger and you're true to it, what you will find is beneath the wave of anger, beneath the how dare you, is fear and pain. And so the wave shifts, brings us some insight into our lives. We sit with that, we look at the wave of fear, we look at the wave of pain. Those two start to dissipate. And that is what brings us into awareness with our own lives and who we are, rather than trying to outrun them. Because as we all know who have ever swum in the ocean, you can't outrun a wave. And whether it's water or whether it's your emotions, it's just going to crash on you. And with anger, it crashes on those around us as well. So we minimize our expectations of the universe. We recognize it's happening within us. And we look directly at whatever it is that's pulling us away from peace. And the very last piece is we connect with our breath. The breath is the greatest ally. Brings you into the present and immediately pulls you out of whatever emotion has hijacked your mindfulness, hijacked your presence, hijacked your peace. Let it be low in the abdomen, like below the belly button. Let it be slow. Let it be mindful. And the minute we bring our awareness there, it automatically grounds.